against Cincinnati. You can tell, like, the older guys are kind of used to it and, just ramping up as the season goes along, but the newer guys are very excited. And, we're all excited and we're ready to play our first game against some other people.
Yeah, to kind of add off that, very excited to go out there and hit somebody else. I feel like due to our competitive nature and how deep our roster is, I'm tired of just playing against the same guys every day. I feel like it kind of get old, so I can't wait to go out there against Cincinnati and see what we've built over the past summer.
Roddy, this isn't your first time here.
Yeah.
Big Ten Media Day. How have things changed for you since the last time you represented a team?
Obviously, different colors, different school. Apparently, the rival. But it's always great spirits. Seeing guys like you, obviously, going out there and just being kind of the voice of a program, being the leader, being somebody that the coaching staff rely on you to be able to go and speak out upon the foundation and be the face of a program, especially like Michigan, where such history. I feel like it's very important to kind of be that kind of stature and be on that kind of pedestal. Way more confident, just because I've experienced so much. I feel like I've grown in my leadership skills and being able to kind of, speak a lot better in these settings. I feel like compared to my sophomore year, I've made great leaps. Just being able to be more vocal and experiencing so much stuff has gone a long way.
Going off that, what was it? It's always tough to transfer to go from one versus the other.
I think with the support of our staff and my teammates from last year, I think it made it a lot easier for me mentally. I knew that physically, my basketball talent would be able to take me long ways, but mentally, just kind of the fans, kind of the hate that I got from transferring. I know it's something that you don't do, but still, the hate that I received from that, I think that with the support of my teammates and staff, I feel like it eased my mind to be able to go out there and perform. I think one thing you can do immediately is just kind of get off of social media a little bit. I feel like social media was the main outlet for me just looking at stuff, reading stuff on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is. But I think immediately once I got off of social media and were able to just kind of get lost in the program, get lost in the winning. Especially it was a lot easier when we were able to play basketball. Especially when the season started, it was able for me to kind of remove my mind from all the social media things and just kind of lose myself in playing basketball.
Nimari, how have you seen Roddy get more comfortable as a team representative, as someone in the spotlight like this, doing the press conference? How have you seen him and the time you've known him take some steps in that area?
Yeah, just over time, being a Michigan man, I feel like you naturally embody that, and I feel like his time and experience, just in college in general, and as a collegiate basketball player, you're asked a lot out of you, on an everyday basis from summer to spring, essentially. And we put in so much work, and Roddy has done that. He's also done that being a face of Michigan and just representing what we all stand for, at the University of Michigan. So I think he's done a great job at that.
I know last year both Coach Gayle and Coach May spoke publicly about wanting you guys to play Ohio State twice. They wanted that to be a home and home. And the Big Ten agreed to that. You guys will do that this year. How do you both feel about that rivalry being protected by the league and the chance to play each other twice?
I think it's a rivalry that should be protected by the league, and I'm super excited about it. I think it just brings that much more excitement to the Big Ten in general, and honestly just fans of college basketball in general as well. So I'm looking forward to playing them twice and continuing that rivalry and that feel of being a rivalry.
I would say that it was an amazing feeling to go out there, a Sean Stevens return back there, be able to get a W, and I know how important it is to play against, how important it was for me to play against guys like Coach Diebler, coaches like Bruce, Devin, Junie, those guys where I had close relationships with, and how competitive that game was. And I think that just kind of brings the fans and kind of interactions back to college basketball. I look at it as making college basketball fun again, bringing the kind of excitement when you have multiple rivals in the same league and being able to play them twice brings that excitement and competitiveness to the league.
See Trey Burke's jersey go up in the Raptors this year. Do either of you have relationships with him? Do you spend much time around him? What is it? If so, what does it mean to see someone like that be honored by the university?
Yeah, I don't have a prior relationship with Trey Burke, but I know what he stood for Michigan and what he means to Michigan and the fan bases. I hear from people who have been here. Our equipment manager Bob, he's been here for long as we've been alive, longer than we've been alive, and so hearing the stories that he gives us makes us feel like we have a brotherhood, even with Trey, even though we don't know him. For all the alums that come and support us, it means a lot to us, and it keeps us going, and then for the people that come after us as well.
Yeah, like his National Player of the Year run I remember watching it from home. Beeline is from my area, Coach Beeline, so watching Michigan and then seeing Trey Burke, the kind of player he was, I think they got robbed a little bit against Louisville, but you know how that goes. But just kind of the kind of player he is, and then kind of seeing what he stood for. A kid from, where is he, from Ohio, right? Kid from Columbus, going to Michigan and beating all the odds, and then being as successful as he was at Michigan, and those runs that he had. Like it was great for me to be able to watch him, and then now, like being in attendance for his jersey retirement is great. Thanks, Adam.
With the transfer portal, a lot of times the indication is, it's a one-year fix, or a guy is just chasing money or whatever it is. But for both of you now, you got to go to Michigan, multi-year sort of foundational pieces here. What does that mean to Michigan?
It means everything. We come to Michigan to further our collegiate career, but also be in the best situation possible, and doing so to win. And I feel like we've all done that, from the guys that have transferred here or just chosen Michigan coming out of high school. It's a part of who we are, and it's going to be a part of who we are once our time is up. And we share it with our brothers, the alumni, people that we see in airports. Go Blue! It's universal. So I'm excited to be a part of that brand.
I guess going off the transfer portal topic here, I'm curious to know what both of you have to say about new addition Morris Johnson on your roster. Just what you've seen so far in practice, coming into his own on this new roster. What's impressed you and surprised you? Is anything you have to say about him?
I think immediately Morez's impact on the offensive glass and defensive glass is just terrific. Like his ability to be able to get us extra possessions. My coach look at extra possessions as stops. He look at them as defensive stops. If we can be able to carve out more shot attempts than the other team, and one of the main ways by doing that is by grabbing some of the offensive glass, getting some of our misses back. And Morez's addition to our team allows us to be able to hit the glass a little harder than we did previously. And something that I've been really excited that I really didn't see, like his ability to score out of the post, and his athleticism, especially in the pick and roll, having a lob threat in the pick and roll allows us guards to have so much more freedom when it comes to making decisions. When you can just throw it anywhere and he go grab it, and then his ability to finish with both hands has been something that shocked me over the summer.
Yeah, for sure. His athleticism is off the charts, and his impact is just paramount when you think about his physicality. Like Roddy said, his impact on the glass, and also as a lob threat. And you'll see him grab that rebound and take it to the other end, and nobody stops him. He's going to dunk it on your head. So I've always wanted a teammate like Morez, and he brings that plus more.
I think you guys had 3 alley-oop dunks last year. Probably be a lot higher. I think Roddy, one of them was you.
Probably all 3.
Yeah.
Roddy
probably.
Are you practicing? I know we saw it in practice. But are you guys practicing throwing them more, knowing that you have more of those threats?
I wouldn't say practice throwing them with the mindset we need more alley-oop dunks.
Yeah.
But we do have some very athletic guys.
We have some athletic guys, and then some guys that are just tall.
Yeah, we got some guys that's tall, and they already up there.
Yeah, they don't have to jump very high, but
it's definitely more oops being thrown, I would say.
Definitely.
What's the freakiest thing that you've seen a guy do? Whether it's just turning and dunking flat-footed?
I think that turning and dunking flat-footed is incredibly hard. There's not too many people in the world that can do that. But I think one of the things that I've seen him do is wrap around passing between somebody's legs. It's crazy because you don't really see that kind of ability to pass out of a 7'4" guy. So his passing really shocked me over the summer because I didn't know who he was. We played against him a few times, but in the system, that's just not how he played at UCLA. So We've been just throwing the ball in the high post and just cutting, and he finds you. It's kind of like Jokic in a sense where he can like kind of play a high post and just whip the ball across court. So that's something that I immediately say.
Yeah, I agree.
What's impressed you too about Jackson the most? What stands out?
His versatility defensively. He can pick up full court if he wants to and guard the ball, or he can play small ball 5 and get the ball, get the defensive rebound and pushing it. And with his passing and his shooting ability, he's just very versatile. He can do it in tons of different ways, and I feel like he's a huge part of making our team special and making us fit together in different lineups.
Yeah, like to piggyback off that, like I feel like he's kind of the connector in our program, on and off the court. His personality is great. Go a little bit off the versatility. He can play 1 through 5 offensively and defensively, and like a guy like that who has so much stature and had the season he had in the past 2 years, just kind of his unselfishness that he brings. Like you ask him about anything basketball-wise, he just want to sit in the corner and shoot threes or get assists. If you ever ask him, all he want to do is get rebounds and assists.
You guys pinpoint his best attribute, or is it too hard to decide?
He's honestly a guy like with just a bag of tricks, and he can. Sometimes he don't even know what he wants to do in that specific moment, but he just does it, and I think that's what makes him special.
Yeah, as far as raw talent, like athleticism, length, I didn't understand like how good of a defender he was until like you actually like you feel like you got him beat, and then all of a sudden like due to his wingspan, like you may go get it off the glass or something, and it's that athleticism and just his ability to like be able to pressure full court on a small guard, but also like drop down and defend the 5 in the post. Like that's just something you don't see a lot in college basketball.
Yeah.
You could have gone to the league. Why do you think he stayed? Why do you think he joined you guys?
Like we talked about with the transfer portal, just making the best decision possible and his timeline, and also winning a national championship, a Big Ten championship. I think those are goals that we want to accomplish in college, for whatever conference you're playing for. And I think that's a part of his goals, and becoming even better, for when he inevitably goes pro next year.
Yeah, the way he looked at it, it was like from what we discussed was just like his unselfishness and wanting to be a part of a family who had a chance to do something special. And he kind of seen that with the foundation and the guys that Coach May brought in. He said he wanted to play for Coach May. And then when you take an account of his ability to be able to be so versatile, his addition to this Michigan roster just pushes us so much farther than what we would have been. And he's seen that we can possibly win a national championship as well as a Big Ten championship. And that's something that was on his goals.
Dusty, he's talked about playing 3 bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen that in practice?
We have seen that. And it's like the 3 bigs includes Jacks. You know what I'm saying? So it shows that, he can basically stretch the lineup in a sense and, find different ways to attack, especially with Will and guys like Merez and Adai, guys that can cover space defensively with our wingspans and make it hard, not only on offense but defense as well.
Do you guys know where that came from for Dusty?
I have no idea. Dusty has a very weird mind that like to do stuff that people haven't thought of before, like the 4-5 ball screen last year. Like who would have thought to put 2 7-footers in a pick and roll and play a guard and a dunker? Like
I bet we'll see it in the NBA.
You definitely will, but like I played dunker most of the time. Like I was in the dunker spot watching 2 7-footers in a pick and roll, so it's just like those kind of unique stuff that Dusty comes up with is just like mind-boggling that, probably this time we're going to have 3 bigs on the court that can defend. We will have the advantage on the glass, and, the kind of shooters that, Will is, Yaxel has became, and then the kind of passers and rebounders that you have from Adai and Merez. Like, it's just an unlimited amount of lineups that we can go with that gives us an advantage.
Got to ask you about the freshman.
Yeah.
How's he doing? How's he adjusting?
He's just ahead of the curve physically, high IQ, shoots the ball at an elite level, from all 3 levels, and you could just see that he's, above, especially, in the high school field that he was, just above in those areas, and he's going to help us tremendously this year.
Yeah, I would say, like, even looking back at my freshman years, he's way ahead of the curve as far as, like, physically, mentally. One thing you usually see, like as your sophomore, junior, senior year, when new freshmen come in, is just how hard the summer hits them. And I think our freshmen, including Trey, has done a great time of adjusting to that. I feel like they adjusted pretty well, and you couldn't even tell they were freshmen if you actually came to a practice. Like I feel like physically and mentally, those guys are ahead of the curve and next level.
I covered him a lot in high school. Is the shooting, is that still his best trait, you guys would say?
I would say so. Like I said, especially all three levels. Like you can get it from the mid-range, three-point line, scores inside, and like I said, with his physicality, he can be a threat in the post as well. So, not to mention, he has a long wingspan as well. So defensively, that helps as well. So, like you said, yeah, since high school, he's been doing it, and I would say shooting is probably the best one.
What's his role kind of expected to be? Spark plug off the bench, kind of give you guys some buckets in the second unit, kind of any idea?
I think the key with what our team is now is just a versatility. Like, there's no telling. Like, one day he may be our scorer, and maybe he be a starter, and one day he may be a bench plug. So, what I think the uniqueness with Trey is just his ability to be able to facilitate as well as score. Everybody knows him as a great scorer, but I feel like through this summer, he's taken long strides of being a facilitator, being able to read the defenses and be able to kind of pinpoint passes. He's been playing some backup point guard, especially with some of the guys dealing with sickness and stuff like that. Like, he's been able to step up and play some of the one, which I know like he haven't done in his career. So now it just kind of adds another key point in his game where I feel like will help him in the future.
Thank you.
Dusty has a weird mind. What's the craziest idea or most off-the-wall idea he's had? Whether you've used it or not.
It's a great question.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, just often, like, he just comes up with unique ways to just generate offense.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally.
I can't spoil any of our plays or anything like that, but like,
Exactly, yeah.
just his ability to like, all right, we want you to like pass it opposite and just like sprint off of a screen and you're going to be open. And then you think about it and it's like, how would I be open? And it just works pretty much every time. It's just like his uniqueness in like floor spacing. It's like something as simple as like, if a person's driving left, like you move left. It's something as simple as that. And then like, you don't really think about it until like you get reps and then you kind of see like where his head is coming from, because he just kind of breaks it down to you in film and stuff like that. But then one unique thing that I've seen is just like, he don't want you deep in corners. Like, he hates the corners a lot. So what he would rather you do is like leave some space so you can drive corner. Like, usually, you know how like somebody's driving at you, you space all the way to the corner. He wants you to just space like a little bit, tiny bit, so it allows you to just rip, drive baseline and then create offense like that. So that's just like something very unique.
No, for sure. Like Roddy said, especially when you're deep in those corners, you generally only have one way, and that's like go drive in middle. So he wants you to lift up so you have either way. You can drive baseline, drive middle. And I feel like just because he watches so much film, he understands the game at a different level. And that's what makes his mind so weird, because it's just like just very broad. You know, he can come up with ideas from anywhere. So
yeah, like this is point in times where like I'm setting screens for a die.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought of that like 5-10 years ago? Like, all right, we're gonna have one of our point guard, shooting guard set a screen on our 5-man so he can get downhill. And it's like
it makes us guards good screeners too. Yeah.
Yeah, our guards are great screeners.
Go see everything.
You're gonna see. I won't be surprised if you see a die playing the one. Our 4-man playing the one.
Why that you just don't do it and it happens and you figure out why you love that?
Most of the time he explains the why, but sometimes he gives you like the element of surprise and like, oh, it works, so I see why we do it now.
Yeah, it's just the trust that you have with a guy like that who's had such success at different levels, and just being able to, believe like, all right, he told me to do this. He probably knows what he's talking about. So just taking a leap of faith.
No doubt.
You both mentioned the exhibition games earlier. What do you hope to learn about the team in those games, and how do you hope to carry those lessons into the regular season?
Go ahead, Rob.
I was about to go piggyback off you.
All right, go. Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
I hope to learn, like you just said, just to learn about us as a group playing against different competition. Just to see how, we play off each other, especially because we like had different lineups play with each other during practice, and we've try almost every lineup in practice, so it's nothing that we won't expect, but just learn about how we play together during the games against other opponents.
Yeah, I agree. Just kind of learning about how we come together in a real game setting. I feel like at this point of practices, we're kind of cheating drills because we kind of know like what's going on, or cheating certain personnel scouts because like we know that Adai likes to do this or Yaxel likes to do that. So I feel like it's just an elite opportunity to be able to see like how dominant we can be on both sides of the ball, like how dominant we can be on the glass and stuff like that. So I think that's a key thing, like Nimari said, just learning about us, because I feel like we've kind of hit the roof at this point, and then we'll be able to kind of see, where our sky will be.
Last year, exhibition-wise, you guys played Toledo at home, and now this year you go to the Garden to play St. John's. Do you guys prefer that level of competition in your exhibition games out the gate? Do you want to be facing the best of the best in these games? Is that what you prefer?
Absolutely. I feel like with playing a team like St. John's against such a historic coach, a great program as well, and also at in the mecca of basketball in New York. So just to be able to play in such a setting, and then understanding, St. John's is gonna come up with some stuff to be able to exploit some of the stuff that we do. And if we can get a jump on that earlier in the season, in the exhibition game, I feel like that will help us in non-conference. Even like getting punched in the mouth, I think is something that like doesn't really happen until like December, January. So being able to experience that in the exhibition game is great.
Yeah, I feel like it's really good to know where you're at early, and it'll allow us to respond on the fly. Things happen so quickly in games, adversity, all types of things that we'll encounter, and we encounter that early. We understand where we are, and I feel like off the court, we talked about all day today how close we are as a team, and I feel like that'll bring us closer and feel like a true brotherhood, and figuring out how to, overcome certain adversities and just get better as a group.
How is Elliot Cadeau factored into your guys' backcourt? How is his skill set different than Tremaine yesterday?
I think Elliot's ability to play so fast, is extremely quick, extremely agile, and his ability to play in a pick and roll and be able to pick defenses apart is like really next level. He's very similar to Trey. I think Trey was probably like a better shooter, probably. But Elliot's ability to get downhill and be able to create for others, he's been terrific in that ability to get downhill, creating shots for all of our guys actually, and his ability to play in pick and roll with guys like Merez, has been great.
Yeah, no, I mean his IQ and his playmaking is exceptional. There's times where he's like going super fast, so I'm thinking like, there's no choice but to finish, and then he just stops on the dime and makes a read, makes a pass, whether it's in a pick and roll or just in transition. It's a joy to play with him. You don't want to really play against him, and so it's going to be super paramount for our team, especially as we go deep through the season. And he's also been shooting the ball very well. He hit a long shot clock 3 on me one of the last days in practice. I was very upset about it, but no, he's a great addition to our team.
Yeah, he's a guy that makes basketball easy for everybody on the team. He took tremendous strides in his leadership skills. I feel like he had a long season where he wasn't really playing much, and then towards the end, like he stepped up big time, carving out a role on the team. And just his ability to be able to be like that spark plug for us off the bench, our backup point guard, to be able to score efficiently. I feel like it's just something that people haven't really seen as far as last year, just through his role he had last year. So this year, like just his ability to be able to facilitate as well and be able to be like a leader out there also. Like he didn't really use his voice much last year. So this year, it's just something that he's been able to take strides in.
10% of the future pro earnings of any one of your teammates, who would you pick? And why?
Yaxel's gonna make a ton of money. Yaxel's gonna make it. Even just like you take the talent out of it, like that kid can be like take basketball out of it. Like he's just the type of person that you want to be around, the type of person you can like make money off of just like how entertaining he is. Like, yeah, I feel like he could be a streamer and entertain nobody. He can entertain nobody for hours upon a day. I just feel like he's just has a great personality.
Nah, super high character, great energy, fun to be around. Like Roddy said, I was thinking streamer as well. He can definitely be, with some of the best streamers out there, and just great personality.
And I'm not up on the streaming world enough to make more streaming than one of those dudes sitting behind the mic. You can make millions, right, streaming?
Hey, man, I'm not going to watch bank accounts, but streamers make a lot of money.
Streamers definitely make a lot of money, especially if you're good at it.
Yeah. For sure.
And what have you learned playing against them?
Well, unique guys like Braden Smith, I think I study his game a lot, actually. Coach May, really loves his game. His ability to, get to the free throw line area and be able to shot fake and move people with his eyes and ball fakes and be able to create lanes to TKR. I know I specifically don't have to deal with TKR, but his ability to be so dominant in the paint is just, is ridiculous. And with Lawyer's ability to be able to shoot behind the arc, there's going to be a day where I don't have to, worry about Purdue just running a Spain pick and roll, and there's nothing you can do with those three guys in the same action. Briefly, we've been kind of focused on us, trying to find out our identity. We got a cool foundation upon the returners that we have, but as far as Purdue, I know that with Coach Painter and guys at the helm like Braden Smith and TKR returning, as well as Lawyer, they return most of their guys. So I feel like they're always going to be top three, especially with the kind of leadership and foundation that they have with Painter and Smith. I think the key, there's no key of stopping him as well as TKR, but just try to throw different things at him, make him think a little bit. I think his IQ is probably close to Chris Paul's as well, just his ability to read the game. So I think just to throw as many different things at him as possible and kind of overwhelm him a little bit may give us an advantage, maybe not, but I mean, you got to try something. Thank you so much.
Dusty last season said that maybe he didn't emphasize the physicality as much as he would like to. How did that change in this offseason?
It's changed so much in this offseason. Just the things that we used to do in practice from last year to this year has changed, and it's honestly made us a lot better, a lot more physical, and just the emphasis on it. I feel like we have the guys in the group to do so. We did too last year, and once we made an emphasis on it, start to improve in that area. So to start in the summer and to talk about it, to be about it, and to perform it is, has been very key, and it will help us going into the season and throughout the season.
Yeah, I think it all started in the weight room for us. I think our head strength conditioning coach, Matt Aldridge, was able to kind of learn from what we did last year, what we did right, what we did wrong, and be able to kind of implement that amongst the returners and also the new guys coming in. Implement the physicality that we're going to embrace, and even in practice, we got these things called toughness drills where we're kind of setting a tone on how we want to play and what we need to expect.
Going back to Purdue, we were talking about a minute ago, you guys were able to split the home and home with them last year. This year, you're only going to them on the road in a game where you guys are both top of the conference, projected to be. Are there high expectations for you guys to walk into Mackey and do this year?
Very high expectations. I'm going to speak on that one because the last 2 years in Mackey has not gone how we wanted it to. So we're definitely looking forward to that one. It's, one of the games that's scheduled that, is marked with an X on it. And so, I'm ready to conquer as a team, that opponent in their home.
Yeah, Mackey is never a fun place or easy place to play. So being able to go in there and, like Nimari said, conquer a victory, be able to carve one out. We know how incredibly tough it's going to be, but I think we have the talent as well as the guys to be able to go out there and hopefully shock the world.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
What's your reaction to being picked second?
My reaction to being picked second is thank you. I mean, we weren't picked top whatever last year, And so I'm excited to get to number one.
Yeah, I would say it's very important for us to kind of have that, respect from people to be at like number 2, but we strive for greatness, which is number 1. So I think it's important for us to kind of understand where we are, but like take a step back and ignore the noise and be able to kind of build on us. And I think that's just kind of where we are.